Here's how to never ask for a raise again. Hi, my name is Rachel Druckenmiller. I'm the founder and CEO of Unmuted, and I work with organizations, leaders, and teams to help them be more connected, courageous, confident, and resilient. So, one of the greatest pieces of advice that I ever got from my dad, who has been my greatest career coach and mentor for my entire life, is something that helped me make more money than I would have been otherwise working in corporate America, that ended me up in a six-figure job by the time I left and decided to launch my own business. And I'm going to share with you the wisdom that he shared with me that helped me to do that. So a lot of times we get to a situation in the workplace where we feel like we've been working really hard for a long time and we just hope somebody's going to notice that I've been doing a really good job, and then they're going to come to me and then they're going to offer me more money. But the reality is most people are so focused on their own stuff that if you're not being a squeaky wheel, if you're not initiating something, that people probably aren't going to be thinking about, hey, I need to give that person more money. And so one of the things that I did over the course of my career that helped me do that was I was intentional about a couple things that I'm going to share with you here today. So one of the things that I did is I was really diligent about tracking the impact that I was having. So I kept an email folder called Kudos. So whenever I would get an email from a client about something that I had done that had a significant impact, either it was an event that I had organized for them or a workshop that I had done or some way I had consulted with them that helped them and added value, or if I helped our organization win an award because I submitted the application and wrote the essays and did all the things I knew to do, I would save all of those files in an email folder in my Outlook system so that when it came time for a review conversation or the type of conversation I'm going to share in just a moment, I had those at the ready to draw from. Another thing that I did that was really helpful is I made sure I had all of those ducks in a row when I was about to have those conversations so that I could justify what I was about to ask for. So here's the thing that is a differentiator. Instead of saying, hey, I think I deserve a raise or a promotion, never say that. Please never say that. And never say it because, oh, I had a kid and, we just need more money. Like, don't make it about that. It's a business. It's a business. So instead of that, what you want to do is you want to have a conversation and say, hey, I'd like to have a conversation about how we could adjust my compensation to better reflect the contributions I'm making and the value that I'm adding. So you can pause and rewind that, but I'll repeat it again. That I want to have a conversation about how to adjust my compensation to better reflect the impact that I'm having and the value that I'm adding, something like that. And so when you're approaching the conversation that way, you're saying, hey, we're talking about not a raise or a promotion. We're talking about a compensation adjustment. So essentially, I'm recognizing that I'm perhaps giving more or doing more than my current pay is reflecting. And so I want to have a conversation about what that can look like. And so the next thing I say after that is once we get clear on that, I'd like to have a conversation about how to adjust my compensation. Then we say, is that something that you'd be open to, right? Is that something that you'd be open to? I make sure that I come with whatever my number is, right? And say, so this is what I would like to be at. This is the number that I'd like to be at by this date for these reasons. So I might, for instance, say additional value that I'm going to provide, some things I've been working on that I think are going to have a greater impact on our clients, our ability to retain clients, or our ability to recruit clients, or our ability to get more recognition for what we're doing as an organization. That was one of the things I did in my role, is kind of working with clients and working internally. And so I was really clear about asking, like, here's the number, and with a straight face, right? So I'd like to be making X amount of money by X date. Is that possible here? Zip your lip, sit on your hands, and be quiet. One of the reasons why people don't do those things effectively is because they want to talk. They get uncomfortable with the silence and then they talk it out. And it was so hard for me to do, but it was something my dad taught me that was essential. So you ask that question and then you zip your lip. Is that possible here? It's good for you to know. If they respond and they say, you know what, that's never possible here. Well, hey, you just got clarity and maybe that's not the place you want to work. And now you can start mapping out a plan for what you want to do next. But if they say, yeah, that is possible here, and maybe they punt it out 6 months or 3 months, okay, well, now you have information and you can decide what you want to do about it. But that way there's at least some accountability. And then you can follow up and say, hey, I know that when we last had this conversation, we had said that this change would happen by X date. What needs to happen for us to make sure that that happens? And stay on it. This is not you being pushy. This is not you being aggressive. This is you being assertive and owning your worth. Yes, we need to be assertive and own our worth. So instead of asking for a raise or a promotion, ask for a compensation adjustment to better reflect your increased value and contributions. And see what happens. Let me know. I would love to hear from you, either on LinkedIn. Again, my name is Rachel Druckenmiller. You can message me on Instagram at unmutedlife, or just leave a comment below. I love hearing from you, and I would love to know if this practice works for you, or if there's something you do instead that has worked for you too. Thanks so much for checking this video out. If you want to learn more about the work that I do, you can head over to unmutedlife.com.